There comes a moment in life when you realize you've been walking down the wrong road. Maybe you didn't mean to go so far, but step by step, decision by decision, you drifted away. And now the road is cold, the lights are dim, and your heart whispers a question you can no longer ignore. Is it time to come home? You see, the world will tell you that home is something you outgrow, that you need to chase success, build your own path, and leave the past behind. It will sell you dreams of wealth, pleasure, and power, but when the dust settles, you find yourself empty, because the world cannot satisfy what your soul was made for. But let me tell you something. There is a home waiting for you, a love that has never stopped calling your name, a grace that is greater than every mistake you've ever made. You may feel unworthy, but the truth is, you were never meant to carry the weight of your past alone. There is a place where you are known, forgiven, and welcomed with open arms. The question is not whether you can come home. The question is, will you? Don't wait until it's too late. Don't let pride, fear, or regret keep you wandering in the wilderness. The time is now. The door is open. And no matter how far you've gone, no matter how long it's been, it's time to come home. There comes a moment in every life when the noise of the world fades and a quiet voice deep within whispers, "Come back." It may come in the stillness of the night, in the aftermath of a broken dream, or in the middle of a life that looks successful on the outside but feels empty within. It is a voice that does not condemn but invites, a voice that reminds us that we were never meant to walk this road alone. Maybe you've wandered further than you ever intended. Maybe it started with small steps, harmless choices, little compromises. You told yourself you were just exploring, just living, just making your own way. But now you look around and you realize the path you're on has led you somewhere you never wanted to be. The things you thought would bring you joy have left you restless. The people you thought would always be there have moved on, and the purpose you once had feels distant, like a dream you can barely remember. But hear me now, no matter how far you've gone, the way back is still open. The same love that once embraced you is waiting with arms wide open. The same grace that once lifted you up is still strong enough to carry you home. You may think you've gone too far, that the bridge is burned, that the door is closed, but that's a lie. The truth is, there is nothing you have done that cannot be forgiven, no distance too great that cannot be crossed. All you have to do is turn around, take the first step, answer the call, because the door has never been locked. The light has never gone out, and the voice has never stopped calling your name. It's not too late. It's time to come home. The world is full of promises, shiny, enticing, and persuasive. It tells you that if you just have enough money, enough success, enough pleasure, then you will finally be satisfied. It paints pictures of happiness wrapped in material things, status and approval. It convinces you that chasing these things will bring purpose, that the next big achievement or the next big thrill will finally make you feel whole. But the world lies, because no matter how much you gain, it's never enough. No matter how high you climb, there's always another level. No matter how much you try to fill the emptiness inside, it remains untouched. The applause fades, the excitement wears off, the relationships that once felt unbreakable drift apart. And when the distractions are gone, you're left with a haunting question. Is this all there is? Some chase after pleasure, believing that the next experience, the next rush, the next indulgence will finally quench their thirst. But pleasure is fleeting. It gives for a moment, then takes even more in return, leaving behind regret, addiction, and a deeper hunger than before. Others chase success, thinking that wealth and power will give them security, only to find that even the richest people can't buy peace, and the strongest can't escape the weight of their own burden. The world will tell you to keep running, to keep chasing, to keep striving for something that will never truly satisfy. And if you listen long enough, you will believe that this is just the way life is meant to be. An endless race with no finish line, an illusion that disappears the moment you think you've caught it. But there is a different way, a better way. You don't have to keep believing the lies. You don't have to keep searching in places that will never fulfill you. What your soul is longing for isn't found in the things of this world. It's found in something greater, something eternal. And no matter how lost you feel, the moment you realize the world can't give you what you need is the moment you're finally ready to come home. There is a love that never gives up, never grows weary, and never turns away. It is not based on your performance, your achievements, or how well you've lived your life. It is not fragile, conditional, or dependent on what you can offer in return. This love has been constant from the moment you took your first breath, watching over you even when you weren't aware of it, calling your name even when you weren't listening. Maybe you've experienced love in this world that failed you. Maybe you trusted people who left, relied on those who broke their promises, or opened your heart only to have it wounded. That kind of love, human love, can be unpredictable. It can be selfish. It can change with time, with circumstances, with emotions. But the love that waits for you is not like that. It is steadfast, unshakable, and relentless in its pursuit of you. No matter how far you've wandered, no matter how much you've messed up, this love does not keep a record of your failures. It does not push you away or stand at a distance waiting for you to prove yourself. Instead, it runs toward you with open arms, ready to embrace you, ready to restore you. You may think you are too broken, too lost, too unworthy, but that's not how love sees you. It sees beyond your past. It sees beyond your mistakes. It sees you, the real you, the one that was always meant to be. And this love is patient. It doesn't force itself on you. It waits. It waits through the seasons of your rebellion, through the times when you tried to silence its voice, through the moments when you chose everything else but still felt empty. It waits with hope, with longing, with the deep desire to bring you back to where you belong. Because you were never meant to be lost. You were never meant to be alone. Maybe you've felt this love before but walked away. Maybe you've been afraid to believe in it, afraid to trust that it's real, but right now that love is still calling your name. Not with anger, not with disappointment, but with tenderness, with grace, with a longing that says, "Come home. It's not too late. You are still mine, and I have never stopped loving you." There is nothing so broken that it cannot be restored, no past so stained that it cannot be made clean, no life so lost that it cannot be found again. Redemption is not just a second chance, it is a complete transformation, a rewriting of your story, a turning of ashes into something beautiful. Maybe you believe that what you've done is too much, that the weight of your mistakes is too heavy to undo. You may carry regrets that haunt you, choices that replay in your mind, words you wish you could take back. The world might have labeled you by your worst moments: failure, addict, liar, unworthy. But the world does not have the final say. Redemption is stronger than your past. It does not ignore your mistakes, but it does not leave you defined by them either. It takes the very things that should have destroyed you and uses them to build something greater. You don't have to clean yourself up first. You don't have to fix everything before you are worthy of a new beginning. Redemption does not wait for you to be perfect. It meets you right where you are, in the middle of your mess, in the middle of your brokenness. It doesn't just cover up the cracks, it heals them. It doesn't just erase the past, it gives it purpose. The very things that once brought you shame can become the testimony of how far you've come, how much you've been changed. But redemption is not just a nice idea. It requires a choice. You have to be willing to let go of the chains that have held you back. You have to believe that you are not beyond saving, not beyond grace, not beyond love. The past does not have to be your future. The darkness does not have to be your home. The pain does not have to be your identity. No matter where you've been, no matter how deep the pit, no matter how impossible change may seem, redemption is real, and it is waiting for you. You don't have to stay where you are. You don't have to keep carrying the burden alone. The door is open. The path is clear. All you have to do is take that first step, because no matter how far you've fallen, there is still a way back. There is still hope. There is still a new life waiting for you. It is not too late. It is never too late. There's a temptation to believe that there will always be more time, that tomorrow is guaranteed, that the decisions you put off today can wait for another season, another moment, another opportunity. But time is a gift, and every breath you take is one you will never get back. The greatest lie that keeps people from change, from healing, from coming home, is the thought that they can do it later. But later is not promised. How many times have you felt the pull in your heart, the quiet voice telling you to turn back, to make things right, to stop running? And how many times have you ignored it, pushed it aside, convinced yourself that there would be another chance? But time does not wait. It moves forward, unstoppable, unshaken by our distractions. And one day, whether we are ready or not, time will run out. The moment to make things right is not tomorrow. It is not someday in the future when you feel more prepared or when the circumstances seem better. It is now. Because every delay makes the road back harder. Every excuse builds another wall between you and the life you were meant to live. And every moment spent outside of that grace, outside of that love, is a moment wasted, one that you can never get back. The urgency of now is not meant to bring fear, but clarity. It is a wake-up call, a reminder that life is too short to waste on things that do not matter. Whatever is holding you back, pride, fear, regret, let it go. The door is open, but it will not stay open forever. The call is clear, but you must be the one to answer it. You have a choice, right here, right now. You can keep waiting, keep pushing it off, keep pretending you have all the time in the world, or you can take the step you know you need to take. You can turn around. You can say yes to the invitation that has been waiting for you all along. Because the truth is, There is no better time. There is no perfect moment. There is only now. And now is all you need. There is no feeling quite like coming home. It is more than just a place. It is a sense of belonging, of being where you were always meant to be. It is the embrace of love that never left, the warmth of acceptance that does not demand perfection, the peace of knowing you don't have to run anymore. Maybe you've been away for a long time. Maybe you've convinced yourself that too much has changed, that you are no longer welcome, that the distance you created is too great to cross. But the moment you take that step, the moment you turn back, you realize something incredible. Home was never closed to you. The love that waited for you never faded. The door was always open. The welcome was always there. There is no shame in coming home, only joy. Joy in being found after being lost. Joy in knowing that the past no longer defines you. Joy in realizing that no matter how far you wandered, you were never forgotten. It is the joy of a fresh start, of burdens lifted, of chains broken. It is the joy of knowing that the emptiness you felt, the restlessness that followed you, has finally been replaced with peace. And the most beautiful thing, when you come home, you are not met with condemnation. You are not given a list of all the things you did wrong. You are not held at arm's length, forced to prove that you deserve another chance. No, you are embraced, celebrated, welcomed with open arms, with tears of joy, with a love that never stopped longing for your return. This is the moment you've been searching for, the place your heart has been aching for. You don't have to wander anymore. You don't have to search for fulfillment in things that will never satisfy. Everything you've been looking for, peace, purpose, love, belonging, it has been waiting for you all along.